The end of September is here, which means it's time for me to record one of my favorite videos on this channel, my most worn fragrances of the month. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 fragrances that I reach for the most often during the month of September. But before we get started, I just want to say thank you for watching. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to my channel so that you can stay up to date on everything that I post from here going forward. We're going to kick off the list with one from the house of Mont Blanc, and it is no stranger to this channel. This is Mont Blanc Explorer. This is somewhat their take on that Creed Aventus DNA. You get some citruses up top accompanied with some woody notes. Overall, it's a very fresh, versatile, masculine leaning fragrance. I find this one just super easy to reach for. I mainly wore this one to work for a little period of time. I actually just kind of left it sitting out because almost every day I was gonna grab it and spray it on before I headed out the door. So this one was just one that I found incredibly easy to reach for. I also would throw it in my bag from time to time and wear it when I went to the gym. Just an extremely versatile scent. In addition to how much I enjoy wearing this one, I also get pretty decent performance out of it, so that always is a bonus in my opinion. And it is also a pretty highly complimented fragrance off of my skin as well. This is one that seems to routinely make these sorts of lists because I just find it so easy to reach for. But once again, from the house of Mont Blanc, we have Mont Blanc Explorer. Next up, we have one that just barely made its way onto this list, and it is from the house of Azzaro, and it is Wanted the Eau de Parfum. Now, I picked this one up in a travel size trio set from Marshall's not too long ago. And I thought, I don't have any Azzaro fragrances in my collection. What a cool way to kind of start to explore the house a little bit, get my nose on some of their fragrances. And this just happened to be the first one that I pulled out of that box, and I found it pretty easy to reach for. Now, I will admit, this is not the most exciting fragrance. I actually don't even think that I'll end up purchasing a full bottle of it just yet, but I did enjoy the fragrance. It's a bit of a wet, earthy kind of a smell, but it also has this really nice resinous, sweet undertone to it. It's fresh, it's earthy, and it's resinous. For whatever reason, I found that I really enjoyed wearing this one on rainy days, and that's how this one ended up sliding into this list. Was we had about a week where it rained almost that whole week, and I found that I just continuously wanted to reach for this fragrance. Performance on this one was not the best. I did find myself having to reapply it throughout the day, which it came in really handy that it was in this travel size because I could just throw it in my pocket, throw it in my bag, take it with me. But I did have to reapply this one. In terms of how I wore this one, I really only wore this to work. I did not find myself reaching for this for the gym or for date nights or casual outings. This one really was exclusively a work fragrance for me. I don't really hear a lot of talk about this one, so drop a comment and let me know if you own this one and what your experience has been like. For those of you wondering, this is the one that's in the completely chromed out Azzaro Wanted bottle. I just don't see too much talk about it, so maybe it's just not that popular, I'm not sure. Once again, sliding in at the number 4 spot on this list, we have Azzaro Wanted the Eau de Parfum. Sliding in at the number 3 spot of my most worn fragrances, we have one from the house of Coach, and it is the original Coach for Men Eau de Toilette. This is one that I reach for mainly for the gym. There was a good maybe 2 weeks where I left this in my gym bag, and every day after work that I went to the gym, this was the fragrance that I reached for. This one is your typical blue DNA. It has some fruity notes up top. Overall, very fresh and clean. There's a lot of ambroxan in it. Once again, another super easy to reach for fragrance. This is definitely one where if I wasn't as into fragrances as I am, I think this one could potentially be even a signature scent. It's just so easy to reach for. Really, the only downside to this one in my mind is the performance. I do not get good performance with this one, but it works perfectly the way I usually wear it, which I usually only wear this one either to the gym, I might wear it to work, or I might just wear it running errands. I never really wear this one for any occasion where I need the fragrance to last a long period of time. But definitely one that I have found to be absolutely perfect for the gym, and it's why I ended up leaving it in my gym bag for so long, which is how this one made its way into the number 3 spot of my most worn fragrances for the month of September. Once again, this one is Coach for Men, the original Eau de Toilette. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have Tarafi Electric. This is one that has quickly become a favorite in my collection. I mainly wore this one to work, but I did wear it also to the gym, and I did wear it casually a few times as well. This one is fruity, it's a little bit soapy, it's also pretty musky. I'm sure by this point you all know what this one is doing its take on. I find this one to be very soapy, very versatile, very easy to wear. It's definitely falling in line with that blue style of a DNA, but it definitely does it in a way that's much different from just your run-of-the-mill typical blue fragrance. There really just aren't that many occasions where I find that I don't want to reach for this one, so I often find myself intentionally not grabbing it because I've only had it for a little while and I've already put a decent dent in this bottle, and I definitely think that even as the seasons begin to change, I'll probably continue to reach for this one just because I enjoy it so much. Once again, from the House of Afnan, this one is Tarafi Electric. Sliding in at the #1 spot on my most worn fragrances, we actually have one that is a relatively new addition to the collection, and it is Banana Republic's Vintage Green 78. This one is an absolutely beautiful green tea fragrance. You get some citruses up top, you get that green tea note, accompanied by some other florals and maybe even some woods in there. Overall, this one is extremely beautiful and extremely easy to wear. I find it to be very refreshing, but also a bit relaxing at the same time. I wore this one for a lot of things. I wore this one to work. I left it in my gym bag for a while and I would take it to work with me, take it to the gym, spray it on there. I even wore it just lounging around the house. I wore it to run errands. Me and my girlfriend recently went to go see that new Demon Slayer movie that came out. I wore this fragrance to go to that as well. This one is just an extremely beautiful fragrance and one that I find myself just wanting to smell. Even if I'm just taking the cap off and holding it up to my nose, I just really can't get enough of this fragrance. Really, the only downside that I have to say about this one is, as typical with Banana Republic fragrances, the performance on this one is just not the best. But thankfully, the bottle is fairly small, so I don't feel too bad just throwing it in my bag or bringing it with me in the car and reapplying it as the day goes along. Also, in addition to how beautiful I find this fragrance to smell, it comes in at a very affordable price tag. I picked up this bottle at Burlington for $19.99. I'm pretty sure that if you go to your local rack stores, there's a good chance you might find it as well. Do not pay that $30 to $40 price tag that people are asking for it online. Shop around, wait for a while, find it in a rack store and grab it at the best price possible. In fact, I've been on the hunt for this one for a long time and I just now got my hands on it, so be patient, you will find it at a good price. As much as I enjoy this one, I do believe that as the seasons begin to change, my use of this one will kind of taper down a little bit because it really is a summer, spring kind of a fragrance. So as that weather cools down, I don't see myself reaching for this too much. But even though we are in the season of fall, I'm still getting a lot of high heat days. We're still getting up into the 80s where I live. So as long as I still have these pretty warm days, I probably will keep reaching for it. Once again, coming in at the #1 spot for my most worn fragrances for the month of September, we have Banana Republic's Vintage Green 78. That's gonna be it for my list, my most worn fragrances for the month of September 2025. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you have been reaching for the most. I love talking to you all down in the comments. As always, if you made it this far into the video, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Doing those things go a long way to support my channel. And until next time, peace.